talk to.
So what do you think about the fact that Kamala doesn't talk to the press? In a way, I feel like it's more insulting than what Trump does. And Trump says you're the enemy of the people, which is pretty bad. But she's kind of saying I don't need you. I'm not talking to you. You don't matter. You're not relevant anymore. To me, that's even worse than I hate you. It's like I don't think about you.
I do think she should talk to the press. I think anyone who wants to have access to the nuclear codes should be willing to sit down and take questions. And we'd love to have her on the show.
Even Bill Maher has got to call out Kaitlan Collins of CNN, devout, biased propagandist, honestly. Even the comedian Bill, who is also liberal, it tells her basically that, hey, what's going on with CNN? No one likes them. They're not doing great. They're not really honest. They're essentially a laughingstock, and you're essentially a propagandist. He didn't really say that, but you can hear it from what he's saying in this clip we're about to watch, what he's trying to say, and how this conversation plays out, because even Bill can't believe this nonsense. I'm Buzzer Brown, conservative. Let's go.
Kind of measuring and seeing what's going on and just learning and talking to people. They feel that too. I mean, they're just as shocked as we are that this actually happened and that they did coalesce behind a candidate and that they are where they were this week in Chicago. I think as far as terms of, I mean, the conventions are never surprising anymore. They used to actually be, you didn't know what the outcome was going to be. But in modern, times that you've always kind of known, they're just highly produced affairs. And so they're both well produced. I think the Republican convention and the Democratic convention. But there was just kind of this energy to the Democratic convention of, we didn't know this was going to happen. And they weren't taking it for granted was kind of the vibe that I got from the delegates that I talked to.
So what do you think about the fact that Kamala doesn't talk to the press? In a way, I feel like it's more insulting than what Trump does. And Trump says you're the enemy of the people, which is pretty bad. But she's kind of saying I don't need you. I'm not talking to you. You don't matter. You're not relevant anymore. To me, that's even worse than I hate you. It's like I don't think about you.
I don't know if it's.
Oh yeah, that's real bad. Can you imagine not, acknowledging that you're not doing any press conferences, no interviews in 35 days, and you got Donald Trump blowing you out the water. You got RFK interview after interview, and you're just like, nah, I'm good. We didn't talk about this. We didn't rehearse nothing. You didn't give me a script. I don't know what you want to talk about. I don't want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Talk to my manager. That's kind of what Kamala says to all these news media places, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, whoever, and they mama. That's what she goes and tells them, because she ain't about to do that. She's going to save everything for the debate in September.
Denigrating the press on a daily basis, which is what Donald Trump did. I mean, I covered him in the White House every day as a correspondent, and oftentimes to kind of shake you if you were asking him a question, he would try to get into a personal argument with you or just deny or lie about what you were asking about. And so I don't know if I would compare the two. I do think she should talk to the press. I think anyone who wants to have access to the nuclear codes should be willing to sit down and take questions. And we'd love to have her on the show.
Man, it's pretty bad. You got CNN's Kaitlan Collins saying, yeah, it's pretty bad. Kamala, it's pretty bad, man. You're embarrassing. Come on, dude. We're trying to put you in the office, but you don't even want to talk to us, man. What's up with that, dude? We're calling you out. You want the new codes? You better talk to someone. Anybody.
I'd love to too, but I'm not going to hold my breath.
We'll see who gets her first.
Well, I think she'll do you before she does me, but stop. Stop it. You started it.
I paid her, actually, before I came in.
I mean, you made press because you were on Stephen Colbert's show, and he said something like, you guys at CNN just report the news straight. And the crowd burst into laughter. Look, I'm on CNN now. I guess we're on it right now. I mean, they show this show the next night. I don't know how we get away with it with all the fucks, but they do. And all these dirty jokes. But I'm glad, and I'm a big rooter for CNN. But that tells you a lot, doesn't it? I mean, how do you guys think you are doing in that arena of this is a terribly divided country. We're not only politicized. A lot of people just hate the other side. And CNN, in my view, should be the place where both sides can watch. How do you think you're doing?
Yeah, they literally laughed at that conversation when they were talking to Stephen. And they were like, whoa, even the crowd don't believe us. Even the crowd thinks we're propagandists. we're opinion news networks now. We don't really report the news, unfortunately. We need non-biased, nonpartisan journalists working in the media. Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, everywhere. We need these people to report actual facts and don't force their opinions on us, right? We don't need that. I didn't come to Fox News to get your opinion. You know what I'm saying? I didn't, or CNN. I want real unbiased stuff. Otherwise, we're going to Joe Rogan or Bill Maher or hell, The View to get some sort of journalists. You know, I don't think View is really doing that well, but you get what I'm saying, right? People are going everywhere to find some sort of actual factual evidence of whatever's going on at the moment.
With that.
How is CNN is the place where both sides can watch. And I think, you know, my show is evidence of that. We have lawmakers on from both parties. We'll have Elizabeth Warren on one night. We'll have Ted Cruz on another night. I think lawmakers from both parties should take questions and you should push both of them. But on CNN being a place of credibility, I mean, look at what just happened in Chicago. We had 300 people from CNN on the ground covering that convention. There were several reporters from just our team alone on the floor, bringing it in real time to people. And I think CNN puts resources behind things and just brings a level of news that you don't get anywhere else. And I think CNN does a great job.
I'm talking about the people on CNN and what I know what the conservative side of America thinks, and I don't blame them. I watched Kamala's speech last night. It ended at 8:09, I guess 11:09 in the East. It wasn't until 11:23 till the one conservative guy, what's his name?
Scott Jennings.
This Lonely Scott, I call him.
David Urban was there too.
Wait a second. I watched from 8:09 to 8:23. They were just gushing about how great a speech it was. And I think she did fine. I didn't think it was as good as they were making it out to be. But if I'm a conservative in America and I'm watching CNN just for the straight middle of the road, that's what I hear for 15 minutes is it's great, and then Lonely Scott. It does look, I mean, and when you see the path, it does look like tokenism. It's kind of like the same as The View. It's like it's almost better to have nobody there, like MSNBC, than to have just the...
Well, I don't think you can say it's better to have nobody there and then also lament the fact that you don't think the conservative guy, Scott Jennings, who is great, and we have him on my show all the time, spoke up early enough. I think it was a Democratic convention. They turned to Democrats, people like David Axelrod, who ran successful presidential Democratic campaigns first, for their analysis of this. And I don't think that you can say that CNN is anything but fair. I mean, look at that. We covered President Biden's exit from the race very closely, the pressure on him to get out. And I feel like I can speak with authority on this. I'm from Alabama. I'm from a very red state. I have a very conservative family, a lot of them who are Trump voters. They watch my show every night. And I think they know that they can trust me, that, you know, we call bullshit on every side, not just whatever leaning our audience may be. And I think that's something that
that's just baloney right there. That's just full on baloney sandwich she's trying to feed you there, folks. CNN is completely biased. They're not about to give you straightforward news. They're about to give you news on one side and opinionated news at that. If they do have someone on the right, it's a debate. They ain't trying to casually talk about the policies and yada, yada, this or that. They trying to get snapshots and sound bites out of these people. Don't matter who it is, especially Donald Trump.
People actually want more of is to hear from that. I think Scott's voice is really important, but I think other voices are important to hear from. And everyone who was speaking last night, it's not like they were all Democrats. I mean, we had Dana Bash, Jake Tapper, Abby Phillip, all my amazing colleagues.
They come across
giving
that way.
Analysis.
They come across that way. In a moment like that, it was like 5-1. It always looks like 5-1. Okay, I'll move on. But I feel like in this era we're in, until Donald Trump goes away, which could be never, the important thing for
that's just hilarious, guys. CNN is not doing well in the polls. They ain't doing that good in popularity. They've always been opinionated. They've never really been truthful or factual when it comes to any candidate. They have a hard time criticizing Kamala. That's how bad it is. You got Kaitlan Collins saying, hey, yeah, Kamala's got problems. She don't want to do no interviews, no nothing, unless it's scripted with Tim Walz, the sit-down interview, the scripted phone call conversation, the going into the restaurant, kicking out Trump supporters situation, putting in the actors. If it's not scripted and she don't know what's going on, she ain't about to do it. She's scared. She's holding back for everything to go into September to go against the debate on Donald Trump. And now with RFK backing him, she's even more scared. She ain't about to do no interview. No way in hell. Right? She ain't even gonna do it with Bill Maher. She ain't even gonna get on The View. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm Buzz Brown Conservative. Peace.